Greetings, my name is Kali Rahman.
And my name is Spirit Rahman.
And we are
M.I.C. Rahman LLC.
M.I.C. Rahman LLC is an investment company where we trade stocks and options.
We founded our company almost 2 years ago, so that means I was 7 years old and my brother was 9 years old. And since then, we have a return of 21%, and that's like 10 points better than the S&P 500, also known as Standard & Poor's.
You guys shouldn't hit now. If you like what she's saying, give her a hand. Come on. Woo! Wonderful.
We started our company by doing paper trading. Paper trading is when you pick a stock, search it up, and see if it has good earnings. We use Yahoo Finance and IBD 50.
Now, let me tell you how to pick a good stock. There are 7 fundamentals. First, you pick an analyst. There has to be at least 3 analysts. Then you check if there is a positive earnings surprise in the last 2 quarters. Next, you check EPS trends positive over the last 90 days, as well as earnings must be expected to grow at least 20% next year. There is also earnings must be expected to grow 20% in the next 5 years. In addition, with PEG ratio must be below 2.00. Finally, ROI must be 15% or above.
This year, our goal is to start a web-based platform that will allow others to follow our trades for a low membership fee. In addition, we are going to make the website something kids and adults would love. This website will allow members to understand how to create a business of their own and buy stock. It will also have a game that is fun for kids and adults.
Also, here are a few things that you might want to hear. Stop limit, the limit you set to stop your losses. Market price, current stock price. Limit order, price you set to stop your losses.
We also have our own YouTube channel so that you can connect with us, called Sis and Bro Business Show.
Come follow us. Questions?
I have a 9-year-old daughter, and I'd like for her to follow you and or see you on YouTube. How can they reach you?
Give her the YouTube channel.
Sis and Bro Business Show is our YouTube channel. And Sis and Bro Business Show.
Sis and Bro Business Show. That's how you find them on YouTube.
SISandBroBuiness show. SHOW. And then the website's coming out in the beginning of March and the end of April. So, yeah. So stay tuned.
Any other questions? Okay, well, I will, I think they were, so I will kind of share who I am to you all that don't know me a little bit more. My name is, again, Gary Rahman. I, as was spoken earlier, I am a real estate developer is what I primarily do. Real estate development, I've been doing that and investing in real estate in D.C. and Baltimore now for 19 years come December the 9th. And to give you a little bit of background, I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. I'm the youngest of 3. When I was growing up, my mother suffered from depression. And because of that, she raised the 3 of us on welfare. And by the time I was 10 years old, so my son is now 10, so by the time I was 10 years old, we had been evicted over 12 times. And I can recall being 10 years old and getting ready to get evicted. The sheriff was coming the next day. And I made myself 2 promises, that one day this wouldn't happen to me and my family, and I would be able to help others in similar situations. And 2, that one day I'd be a millionaire. Now, at the time, I was reading on a 1st grade level. So those of you who have kids know that at 10 years old, you should be in 5th grade. I was in 1st grade, or reading on a 1st grade level. And if you know the prison to pipeline, by that age, if you're not reading on grade level, they basically have a prison cell number for you that they've allotted for. So statistically speaking, I'm either supposed to be in jail or dead, or have been jailed and now dead. I didn't know those statistics. I think, was it Roy or someone mentioned earlier, when we look at Facebook, for example, and you kind of get bombarded with certain things, you start to believe those narratives. Thank God that I didn't really watch the news. I didn't know those statistics. So I made that promise at 10. I spoke that into the universe, not knowing the power of my words, and I made it happen. So by the age of 32, I was a millionaire in D.C., and my focus has always been low to medium income families and housing them. So I wrote a book called Back from Hell and the Devil Didn't Win: How to Free Yourself from Poverty and Grow Generational Wealth. I paused for a moment because I'm going to say my mother's name. My mother's name is Emily. I believe in our ancestors are still with us. And I know there are many people here from the continent that still have this understanding. But they're still with us today, and they actually are serving as our counsel. And my mother, I know, is present. She's in this room. So my daughter, Spirit, came to my wife and I one day and said that she wanted to be on the Ellen show. And I shared with her, I said, you are very pretty, you're a very cute young lady, but you have to have more than that for Ellen to want to cast you. There are a lot of pretty little girls, so you have to come up with something that is noteworthy. And so we started to ponder, what would that be? And so we thought about them having a business. And that business, and initially we thought about perhaps buying ATM machines, something passive income stream. And then we worked through that, and we figured that wouldn't work. And so we decided on stock trading. Now, to give you a little bit more background, I used to be a financial advisor, and I actually had a social studies teacher in high school that taught me how to trade doing paper trading. And so my wife and I, almost 2 years ago, decided to buy them a program to help them with their trading as well. Now, the power of, or one of the proudest moments for me as a dad, and I gave you guys my background, was to see my children, knowing that my mother was on welfare. So, when they say that the cycle continues, it doesn't always have to continue. That's a narrative that we can break. But the proudest moment for me was when my 2 children were in Vegas at a stock trading class and actually learning and trading and giving feedback to the instructor on what to do and how to do it, etc. At the time, she was actually 8 years old, and he may have been 9 or 10, I can't remember now. But the point is that, can you imagine, right? We talk about legacy. We're talking about wealth and generational wealth. And my wife and I, we have tried to expose our kids to a number of different things. But what I've shared with a lot of people is that, of course, it's great that they can play sports. They've been martial artists since they were 3. They dance, they play football, they golf. They do a lot of different things. We have an artist here as well, and so they do a lot of those things. They play piano and drums, and all those things are really great. But I also felt very compelled that they should know how to create wealth now. We shouldn't have to wait for later. They should be learning this today. So that was the real reason why this is, for me, very powerful. I think about my mother often because I look at them and, they're still 9 and 10, so sometimes it bores them. Sometimes they don't even realize the incredible power that they have. But we're raising them, my beautiful wife, Kali, here in the red dress, we're raising them to be business owners, to control their own destinies. Someone on the earlier panel spoke about college, and it's so funny because I talk about that a number of times when I'm speaking, and that I'm an alum of Tuskegee University. My wife went to Prairie View and then went on to University of Pennsylvania. So we get it. We get education. I went for architecture. My wife, social worker. But at the same time, that doesn't necessarily, again, equate to building wealth. And one of the things that we find in the African American or the black communities oftentimes is that we really rely upon and stress education more than anything else. And it's not necessarily a bad thing to, again, to say, I want you to improve your life and go to college. But at the same time, one of the differences is that we're doing is we're like, look, learn how to, if you love something, like at one point Kali wanted to be a veterinarian or a zoologist, or Spirit wants to be an attorney. So they have to go to college in order to achieve those things. But I said, do what you love, but know how to make money anyway. Because oftentimes we get into a profession that we thought we liked a lot or we love, and then we start working in a daily grind, and we realize that now the love is gone, and the check is okay, but you're not really the same person. We talk about, or we think about Facebook and the people like that, the Steve Jobs and these incredible people. And I don't know if you guys know who Angel Rich is, but if you don't, you need to start following her. She's a black young lady, graduated from Hampton University, a DC resident. They're comparing her to Steve Jobs, but she has the fastest growing or the fastest downloaded app in the world right now called Credit Stacker, and one of the best-selling books out as well called The History of the Black Dollar. They chose her. She was recently selected as one of the top people under 40 years old. But I bring her up because what is different about these people? They've actually had an opportunity to be creative in their space, to see what they could bring to the market, to see how they could be of service. And you can't do that necessarily when you work for somebody, or when you're even if you're an entrepreneur that has, let's say, a dental practice. If you're so just into your practice or your law firm or whatever it is, if you're self-employed and not actually building a brand and a business, sometimes you're not as connected, you're not as focused on actually how you can actually bring something to the market that's different and unique that the people need. When I think about the faces in this room, I know again that we are the magic. We have created everything. Airbnb is nothing but the Underground Railroad, or during Jim Crow when we couldn't stay in the DoubleTree, right? We had to stay at someone's house. They would make us breakfast in the morning and give us a cot or a room, right? If you live in Baltimore, Uber and Lyft, right? None but a hack. We are one of the most creative people on the planet, and we have to start to own our greatness. And that is what my wife and I are trying to do with them. And I will take questions.
I like what you're doing with your children. Have you thought about doing it with other children?
Yes. So, yes, there's a couple of things we're doing. One, I don't know if Sharif is here, but I know he's one of the people that you all are honoring this evening. But Sharif Smalls is an incredible brother who does a lot of great events. He's an accountant by business. That's what he does on his daily. But he puts together we'll call it a meetup, but they're actually different wealth building, all these different types of things where he brings crowds of people in. He's got a gift at it because I've tried to do meetups and 2 people show up. But he's got a gift of putting people in seats, and he will have different panelists kind of sharing. So they've actually done that as well. So what we're doing with the website, is one of the pieces of that website is they're not, of course, giving advice, but you will have an opportunity to see how they trade. You will be able to see exactly how they go about picking stocks. You'll learn basically how to put safeguards in so that you don't lose everything that you've invested. So, and truly, I'm telling you guys, they are doing this. So this is not something that mom and dad are spoon-feeding them. It was funny, we were at the barbershop today getting his hair cut, and I shared with the barber, I said, man, there was a point, when we would sit down, and, I would kind of be instructing them on how to go here, there, find this and the other. And I said, they're so fast that his Spirit pulled it up the other day. She was researching stocks. Like, I was like, man, I could not keep pace. It was like she would boom, boom, nope, that's good, nope, nope, nope. This was no good, yep. I mean, she was like so fast. So they're doing this. And I share, they talk, and they of course, we're trying to kind of share it with children, but trust and believe. I would say, and I don't know, how knowledgeable this room is in finance and stocks, but I would lean or bet, if I was a betting man, that 85% of this room, they could teach 85% of this room how to pick a stock. I would probably say 99.9%, to be honest, because I know what they know. And I know that what most people don't know, right? So it is not just something that will be for children. It's something that adults will know. And we also try to do free seminars where we can share with people kind of how to get more involved in these things. I think this is a great organization, right? Men Impact Change, a great organization. And having platforms even like this helps the masses know more about it, But Sonny knows that I'm open to any suggestion. I'll go wherever they go. Kenya, wherever they go, I'll go, and I'll bring Kali and Spirit with me and my beautiful wife. So yeah, we'll whatever it takes. We want to. One of my goals is to be single-handedly, I want to create the most millionaires that the world has ever known. That is a goal that I have, and it's on the back of my book. That
leads us to my question.
Yes.
How can we get involved with the Gary Rahman Foundation or your business and learn how to grow our wealth through real estate also?
Great, thank you. So Gary Rahman, GaryRahman.com. I try to really brand myself everything Gary Rahman. So GaryRahman.com is my website. If you want to look for me on my YouTube channel, it's Gary Rahman. So those are a couple of ways now. On Twitter, I'm GRock7000. So GRock7000 on Twitter. I'm also on Instagram as Gary Rahman. But those are some ways to just kind of stay connected. I do a radio show called Connection. And on that show, I do have some amazing guests. I have amazing guests on there. Also, kind of do my own thing when I don't have guests. So I try to drop a lot of different seeds. My kids and I will be on the show sometime in December. They'll be on with me, kind of talking about trading. So if they're if you're thinking about stocking stuffers and things like that, just listen in. You just listen in because there's some things that they'll be able to share that maybe instead of the toy, you may want to stuff an investment in that stocking or teach them how to. And then I also do business coaching as well. So I've got some cards out front, but if you reach out to me on my website, I do business coaching for those who are interested in doing more in real estate and learning that whole process as well.
Fantastic. So we have time for just one more question. Who's going to be that lucky? Oh, here we go. Bishop. Yes, sir.
I'm Bishop Winslow.
I do know you, Bishop
Powerhouse
Winslow.
World
Yes.
You mentioned that you're also on the radio, but you didn't tell us what station and what time, what day.
All right. Yeah, thank you. So it is Gary Rahman. It is web-based. So I'm live on Fridays at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. And if you go to my website, it's on 2 platforms. So I do it a live podcast on one platform, and then I'm on my YouTube channel on the other. So I'm doing them both simultaneously. So if you want to watch and see my guests or watch me every Friday, you can go straight to YouTube, Gary Rahman, and you'll see the show that way. If you're in your car and you can't, of course, watch, you can just go to GaryRahman.com, hit the radio tab, and it'll start to play live for you. If you miss it, it's archived, so you can go back and listen to previous shows that I've done. I've had, like I said, some amazing guests. And one last thing is I actually do a blog as well. I've been doing a monthly blog. I've now really got this writer's bug, so I do like to write. But the blog actually as well, there's one about legacy. I think it may be my second one or so. Maybe my second one that I did. So, but I think, you guys would enjoy the blogs as well. So again, GaryRahman.com website. It'll give you a lot of information. You can buy the book that way as well. It's on Amazon, but it's actually everywhere books are sold, Barnes and Nobles, all that good stuff. And I am of course, as you guys know, I was a keynote last year. I do public speaking pretty much globally as well.
Let's give him a hand. We can do better than that, people. Let's give him a hand.
Thank you very much.
And the kids, let's give them a hand of applause, please. Let's give them a hand. Woo! Woo! Thank you so much.